Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Phoenix Insanity here, and we here to talk about, as you see in the thumbnail, tier lists need to be different based on pro and I would say casual level. Because I think the tier list at top tier, a lot of people are complaining about Nina being top three or top one, or they're complaining about Brian being a top one character. Listen, y'all already know 90% of my videos on Tekken so far, I've been playing Brian. And I want to tell you, this man is not top one. He might be top one to somebody out there, but he definitely ain't top one on paper. He's not top one in practice. The only reason Brian will be top one is if a tool assisted bot had Brian. If we had a tool assisted bot that could hit perfect taunt cancels every single time, then you could put Brian at top one. But other than that, there's a lot of things that make it so hard for characters to be played well, that would actually make them top tier. What I would give a definition to a top tier character is a character that you can play at any level and will give you the easiest win no matter which level. So let's at average player level, let's say Tekken King and lower, Horong is probably a top 5 character. Nobody knows the matchup. Nobody has labbed the character. There's some people that have labbed the character, but there's a lower percentage. So at this level, Horong is a very easy win. Fighting if you play Horong, it's easy to get wins. Kuma is going to be a top tier character, probably top 3 at the average player list because nobody's labbed this guy. Kuma, Raven, or a Zafina. Hey, don't nobody know how to defend against these characters. Like these gonna be top tier because of how easy it is to get a win with these characters. Versus if someone plays Nina or Anna. Anna have over 150 moves. They have a lot of mind games, and you have to know the buttons, know what they do out of their side steps, to play these characters well. They don't just have they don't have easy, what do you say? They do have access to easy launchers such as, down forward twos. They do not have hop kicks, but their top tier doesn't come from the ability to get easy combos and do a ton of damage. It comes from how hard it is to open them up defensively, how hard it is to defend against the characters, but you have to have an equal amount of skill of playing Nina offensively to actually have her at a high tier level to where you could be like, oh, this character gets me wins because the character is great, not because you're great with the character and you're optimizing the character. But either way, let's look at the main man's tier list real quick. Let's see who he got at the top. Just to reiterate, the point that I'm trying to get across is that at pro level and really high level Tekken, they have different opinions because of how optimal the characters are played at that level versus the Tekken King, Tekken God, and lower rank. So the main man tier list, he has Elisa in his top 5. And granted, Elisa is definitely carried by Chainsaw Mix, especially since people at the average level have not labbed her chainsaw, so they have no idea what to do. They don't know what's plus. They don't know how to avoid them. So those would carry her and maintain a top tier status. But oftentimes, Elisas aren't abusing the chainsaws as they should. As someone who is optimal with the character, somebody at a higher level of gameplay, like the pro players, they're probably abusing it more optimally. Plus, Elisa has really great movement, and she has a decent range on whiff punishes as well. These aren't being optimized at a lower level, so I think we need a different tier list for us average level players. He's got Brian here in the top 5, and honestly, y'all already know. I already said it earlier. I play a lot of Brian. I do not feel like Brian is carrying me to easy wins. I don't know what moves that Brian has that he doesn't have a down forward 2. He doesn't have a hop kick. He does have an orbital, but he can't 15 frame hop kick. He does have a jet upper, but sometimes you get messed up inputs, and you'll get up to sometimes instead of back forward. Um, and all of his launchers are basically counter hit, so I had to counter hit people versus doing something like with martial law. I just hit 1+2, and 1+2 will take me to the heavens. I would argue at an average player level that martial law is much higher level tier than Brian ever would be because of how easy it is. Down forward 2, he has 3+4 long range punish, 1+2 again, and then in heat he has 1+2. Then he has down forward 1-2 to wall carry. Then he has 3. I'm just messing with y'all. Bro got nunchucks. It's just it's an easy move. Overall, he's a better character, and then when played at a higher level, he should he should be even easier to play. So all I'm saying is just that I don't see a lot of Ninas and Annas either that are playing at a level that I'm like, oh my gosh, this character is so oppressive. There's absolutely nothing I can do. And I have like a 90% loss rate because the character is good. Is usually when players play Nina Anna, they're dedicated to their Nina Anna and they're really good with the character to the point that it's oppressive. I run into Ninas that are so good. You see all their fidgeting all across the screen and doing all these things. You be like, oh, okay, now I see why the character's good. And I run into Ninas where it's just like, is this character, they talk about how great this character is, but I'm really not seeing it. So those ones are like really player based top tiers rather than character based top tiers. Now let's take a look at King J's tier list. And as you can see, he also has Anna, Asuka, and Elisa in the top tier as well. Same thing that main man Sui had. But next he's got Lydia. I believe the main man actually had Lydia put down into the A plus tier for his. You know, everyone's got different tier lists, different pros, different ideas. And his Brian is a lot lower for him. Still above Law, but he still has Brian as a higher tier, but not in the top 5. He definitely has other characters. He even put Harong higher on his tier list, way higher than the main man Swede did. And really, it's a different level of skill or how much you struggle against a character that I think these higher level players are really putting these characters. Some are on paper, like Anna is probably really good on paper, and then having an equal level skilled player play Anna will show you that, oh, this character is as good as the paper says when you play her properly. So, you know, his is very different, but it still doesn't reflect the average. Asuka is not doing all this at Tekken King, Tekken God. Like Asuka, it seems like she's giving the pros a lot of trouble. But if I run into Asuka at Tekken King, I'm beating Asuka at least 80% of the time. It's not a big struggle when I find Asuka. I don't know. I do know what moves, but they're not being used to a level. So that's why I'm just advocating for a tier list for average level players and top players to just be separated. That's all I'm advocating for. I'm not saying that the characters are bad or the characters aren't as good as the pros are saying. They're just not being played at the same level that would earn them the tier that they have at the pro level. And here is Fighting GM's tier list. You can see we see Anna again at the top tier. Now, what I just want to drive this home so people don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the characters aren't as good as they are on paper. I'm saying they're not being optimized at an average level the way they are at the top tier level. So some characters that are harder to play, such as June, Anna, I'm pretty sure it's really hard to be as great with Asuka as they are, because we don't go to top 8 at tournament and you ever see Asuka. We only ever have King Ray Jr. and somebody else that plays Asuka. If Asuka was as good as they say she is, like in Tekken 6, when Bob was good, you seen 6 Bobs in top 8. In Tekken 7, when Leroy was good, there was 6 Leroys in top 8. In Smash Melee, Fox is great, so we see 8 Foxes in top 8. all the time. So when a character is good on paper and overall just great, everyone flocks to the character. So putting Asuka up here on a tier really speaks to just how hard it is to play against the character. Not that this character is actually this great. It's that you get a character, you get a player who knows how to optimize the character through defense and through offensive options, and they make the character look top tier. Why hasn't Arslan or Atif or Nee or Chikarin picked Asuka? She's been almost top 5 on the 3 lists from these YouTube Tekken players. So why aren't we seeing more Asuka at the top tier? Why isn't more Asuka in top 8? I see a lot of Claudio, and Claudio hasn't been in the top 5 on any of these lists, but we see at least 2 Claudios in top 8 a lot of the time. Every once in a while, people have a backup Fang pick, but I don't ever see Fang talked about in the top 5. So does that actually mean that these characters are not top 5, or is it just top 5 hardest fights for the people who are creating this list? That's all I'm driving home. Like, now we got on Fighting GM, he has Clive up here as a top tier. He has June as in the top 5, and then he has Brian as well. So everyone's really just got different opinions, and I don't think they're top tier based off of how easy it is to use a character to get wins and how oppressive the character it is. I think these are top tiers based on how much each person is struggling against the character, or how easily they've acquired wins with the character, or they're just touting other things that other people have said. So the pros are like, oh, Anna's busted, so now everyone believes Anna's busted. You remember Akuma used to be F tier in Tekken 7? Before his nerfs, he was F tier at the beginning. Kuma's trash. Don't ever play Akuma. And then one day they woke up and actually played the character, and they were like, oh my gosh, this character's OP. And then they had to nerf him, and after 7 nerfs, he was still top 3 characters in Tekken 7. So yeah, I hope I was able to drive a proper message home that we just need a different tier list for pro players and a different tier list for mid players. That's really all I want. I just want to make a tier list for us mid players, us average players. Because if I see this tier list and I see that Anna's top on everyone's tier list, I'm going to go to Tekken, I'm going to pick Anna, and I'm going to be like, man, this character is kind of difficult to play. She has a lot of different throw mix-ups, which I like. And then she has these different stances. She has these different... she has like this fighting game knowledge. She's an advanced character to play is all I'm saying. And I'm not going to have as an easy a time of picking up this character and playing well as I would if I'd have picked King, or if I'd have picked Brian, or if I'd have picked Jin, or if I'd have picked, it's a lot of characters that'd be much easier to play, or Law, that will get me very much further, that I will off the back think that this character is much better than Anna because of how easily I'm winning with this character. I don't have to do much. I get big damage. Versus picking Anna, where it's a lot of Anna stuff. But that's all I got for the video, man. Hopefully y'all was able to understand what I was trying to get across. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.